A pretty good look at Arkansas State now?
In terms of
No,
we have no look. They got a brand new coaching staff that's going to do nothing that, you can't look at Arkansas State tape except to get personnel. But there's a new offensive coordinator, and Gus will coach the offense himself. New defensive coordinator, new special teams coordinator. So when we watch Arkansas State, them in their games that they played last year, you're watching their personnel, but they're not going to be deployed the same way. So that's what kind of makes first game a little bit difficult. You got to we're spending a lot of time watching Auburn tape, obviously watching Gus on offense, and then trying to watch what Coach Thompson has done before in the past. John Thompson is a defense coordinator and really well respected in the country, and the same thing for Coach Osborne with the special teams tape. Where the special teams coordinator come from. So the only thing you can do off Arkansas State tape again is just get the personnel off of it. But we would imagine they're all going to be different schemes.
I was going to ask you, how many different schools tape have you had to try to sniff out to do that investigative work?
I don't have an exact number, but there's a few in there. And then we'll find out when. Obviously, we get going on Saturday. We got a pretty good idea. Obviously, having faced Gus at least once before, kind of better idea and grasp of that. I know Oz has got some. But again, it goes back to with us. We gotta be sound in what we do. We can prepare, but if for some reason it's not exactly. Same thing happened last year in the LSU game. Is we expected them, I think, in one situation being a spread punt, but they were in a shield punt. So we've practiced against as many different looks as we think we can get, and then it's just making some adjustments on the run early in the game. So.
Is it like that week in, week out? I mean, is the first game always kind of the most uncomfortable going into the year?
No, it depends. It depends on who you're playing. So we played Les Miles last year, and offensively, that was a Les Miles football team. They were the same thing, and John Chavis had been there for a while, and that was a John Chavis defense. Really well coached football team, and obviously playing at a real high level. So you knew what you were getting scheme-wise. For us, it's interesting because I think 4 of our first 5 games we play first-year coaches. Fresno has a first-year coach, Washington State has a first-year coach, and Arizona has a first-year coach. So you'll see where they are, and sometimes it's not just a coach. You kind of know what Mike Leach and Rich Rodriguez and Gus Malzahn do offensively, but who their defensive coordinators and who their special teams coordinators is where some of those question marks come in. So
how difficult can that be on some of the younger guys then, having to learn on the fly like that?
It's difficult for everybody. So, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we just prepare against some different looks, and then get ready to go play and be able to make adjustments as the game goes along.
Any difference for Marcus the last couple practices? Has demeanor been the same?
Yeah, they've been good, and then we had a great camp, and it hasn't changed. There's a focus. I'm sure they're probably excited to go hit different bodies, but their focus and attitude and effort has been great all camp, and that continued on Saturday's first practice we had on Saturday, and then that continued today. So
Marcus specifically since
no, Marcus's demeanor never changes. His demeanor hasn't changed since the first day he got here. So
I want to ask you about Russell Wilson. I know you had a lot of respect for him last year, and just had a lot of tape of him.
He's not playing for Arkansas State, is he?
Off topic a little bit. What kind of stands out to him?
Stands out about Russell Wilson?
Yeah, to you.
I thought he was, right there with Matt Barkley and Andrew Luck when we played him. I mean, just the only knock on Russell is that he's just not as tall as those guys. But, in terms of command of their offense, in terms of the ability to make plays, in terms of making all the throws, I think that gets so underrated, I think, because he's not the tallest guy in the world. But he throws the ball just as well as Barkley and Luck did, and they're the best that we faced. And I think he led the nation in pass efficiency last year. But I was a fan of his when he was at NC State. I actually got a chance to see Russell when he was playing minor league baseball. I came down and played against the Eugene Emeralds, so I got a chance to watch him play here. But it doesn't surprise me what he's doing in the NFL because he was one of the top quarterbacks in college football last year. So.
Where has Keanon Lowe improved the most in his position?
I think he's improved in everything. His approach to practice, his understanding of what we're doing, his ability to be a playmaker. He was a key special teams player for us, and now he's made that next logical progression. Was a scout team player, then a special teams player. Now he's getting his opportunity to play a lot of football, wide receiver for us. He's tough, he's physical, he runs good routes, he's got good hands. I just think his game, every year you've seen an improvement out of him, and that's what we hope for everybody. Some guys hit a wall. He doesn't seem like he's hit that wall. It's just every year, he's better than he was in the past. And then the one thing he offers us right now is there's just a consistency in what you get from Keanon every day. You can count on him day in and day out. That's really what we need at the wide receiver spot. Not an up and down, not a hot and cold situation. We need people we can count on, and Keanon has shown through. It really started to show up a lot in the spring, and then that continued. That continued through preseason camp, and that's why he is where he is right now.
Does it still seem like that position is going to have a really big rotation of guys?
I don't know. Really don't know. We'll see how that plays itself out when we start to get to. We don't start talking about really any of that stuff till Friday and Saturday when we meet as a coaching staff. So everybody's just practicing. We're trying to, like everything else, trying to get as many reps as we can against good looks, and then see where we go from there. So.
You mentioned Marcus's demeanor. How much did that play a role in the decision?
Then that's just Marcus is Marcus. So.
His high school coach talked about trying to get Marcus to be more demonstrative with teammates, laid back personality, so sort of who he is. Do you care about his demeanor with guys?
No, I don't think you can make somebody something they're not. You know, there's all different personalities. You know, you can look at the professional level and all wins. You know, some guys are rah-rah guys and get their guys fired up like Drew Brees does with the Saints, and then Eli Manning just goes about his business and just wins Super Bowls. You know, so. I think you can't have somebody be something that they're not. I think they need to just kind of. The one thing we always want in that position is a consistency, and that's what he is. He's consistent. He's always on. Just the fact that he's not outwardly demonstrative doesn't mean that he's not a leader. Doesn't mean that he's not intense. Doesn't mean anything like that. It's just that's just Marcus. So.